Hello friends. Welcome to our channel, the place where real stories meet real facts. Today we are talking about one of the most surprising political moments of the year. Donald Trump's explosive speech inside the Israeli parliament, the Knesset. It wasn't just another speech, it was bold, controversial, and sent shockwaves through both Israel and the United States. Trump stood before lawmakers and urged Israel's president to pardon Benjamin Netanyahu. Yes, a former US president, standing in another country's parliament, publicly asking for a pardon. That's something the world has rarely ever seen. The moment he began speaking, the atmosphere changed. Some lawmakers applauded, others stared in silence. Trump looked straight at the cameras and said, "Israel needs strength, unity, and justice. And Benjamin Netanyahu deserves all three." That line instantly became global news. But behind those words was something much deeper. This speech was not a random outburst. It was planned. Trump's team had been preparing it for weeks. It was a calculated move to remind the world that he still stands with conservative allies and to draw a striking parallel between Netanyahu's legal troubles and his own battles back home. In a subtle way, Trump was saying, "Look, I'm not the only one being targeted." He framed Netanyahu as a fighter, someone being punished for standing up for his beliefs, just like he says he is. It was both a defense and a warning. The reaction inside the Knesset was intense. Some lawmakers walked out in protest, others clapped, cheering him as Israel's strongest friend. The speech divided the room and soon after divided global opinion. In Washington, the reaction was more cautious. US officials didn't release an official statement, but insiders described Trump's move as inappropriate interference. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Hashtags like Trump in Israel and Netanyahu pardon now trended within hours. Clips from the speech went viral across YouTube, X, and TikTok, with millions debating whether Trump was standing up for justice or overstepping his bounds. But there was one line that carried a hidden message, and it is what kept analysts talking. Trump said, "When justice becomes politics, freedom dies." Simple words, but they hit deep. It was less about Netanyahu and more about Trump himself. He was crafting a global version of his campaign message, that the system punishes those who challenge it. And by saying it on Israeli soil, in front of the world, he turned that belief into a shared narrative between his followers and Netanyahu's supporters. Political experts say this wasn't diplomacy, it was strategy. Trump used this visit to test his message on a global stage, to see how people react when he portrays political trials as witch hunts. It's a familiar pattern. Control the narrative, stay in headlines, and build emotional connection through controversy. So, what happens next? Will Israel's president actually consider a pardon for Netanyahu? That's unlikely for now, but the idea alone has stirred powerful emotions inside Israel's political circles. Some call it dangerous, others call it inspiring. But one thing is clear, Trump's speech reignited Netanyahu's base and reminded everyone that the two leaders share more than just friendship. They share a fight against political pressure, legal scrutiny, and global media criticism. Whether you agree with him or not, Trump once again proved that he knows how to command attention. Every word, every gesture, every pause, carefully designed to dominate the headlines and shape the conversation. In the end, this was not just a speech. It was a warning. It was a message to his followers back home. And it was a test of how far his influence still reaches across the world. So the question remains, was Trump defending justice or interfering in another country's legal system? That's for you to decide. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay ahead of stories that shape global politics, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because what you're seeing is just the beginning.